let's see if I can show you how to make the gradient from scratch. So let's just imagine that, so I'm just going to duplicate this particular thumbnail, that we want this to all be black at the bottom. I'll just get rid of the duplicated layers, we don't need those for showing you this. Okay, so say I just want to have my thumbnail title at the bottom with black, and I just want to have a little fade here. Okay, maybe in this design I would bring this further down because I know that I'm not gonna have a lot of space to get my fade in. Okay, so I'm just gonna shorten that black so the black can basically be all the way down there. Okay, so it's an element that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna drag in the square. Now this is going to be the wrong color for the fade, so we first have to change the color. So we've clicked on color, we're going to make black, okay, the color. Then we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to default gradients. Now I don't really remember what is the one that says like go to invisible. Okay, so we're looking for invisible on this end. Okay, we also have to rotate it. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember where there's the rotation. Okay, so you see what I did, I just try and make the rotation go away. So the rotation was there, I just didn't see it. Okay, so do you see the rotation just below? So I'm busy mousing over it at the moment. So we want the rotation to go like that. We're just going to use the edges to drag it into place. Always be very careful that you don't have a little white line there. Do you see I've got like a little, just a tiny white line, so I brought it down one more pixel. Then we're going to drag this to where we want the fade. Okay. I would move her further up because I would want to keep some of her arms and fingers in. Okay, now we're going to go and have a look how to make this invisible. So I think it's in here. Okay, I think you've got to actually click on the gradient. And then what you want to do is, so it's going from a solid color. Okay, and then this, so it just says style. Okay, so I think these are your two gradient colors here. Okay, this black and this like funny gray color. So if you click on the gray color and then you just drag it all the way down to invisible, you've now created yourself a gradient that goes from black to invisible. Okay, so now if you want your gradient C to be bigger, then you do that, and then you can decide how big you want your gradient to be. There we go. There it is. You know what I think Photoshop, well, I don't think, I do know Photoshop does. So this is something, if anybody knows if Canva does do this, because I'm not aware. In more advanced photo editing tools, you can choose where you want like the gradient to start fading from. So you want the gradient to start fading earlier. So you could kind of achieve it, say, by maybe if you drag that down. So now I'm really just playing, because normally you'd line them up, right? So all I want to do now, okay, wait, I don't have the background here. Let me just drag the text off so that I have the actual background. So there's our gradient. Here's our background. Okay, so say we want our background to be smaller, so the actual title is already on the fade, if you hear what I'm saying. That's going to give you like a stronger fade, a bigger fade, if that makes sense, bigger and stronger. So that might be better, right? I think that's a bit better. And to be honest, like seeing more of her body and her dress, I think that works really well. You might disagree, so then that's fine. You just drag it slightly higher, and then remember you just have to go back and get this one here. Okay, it's always fighting with us, not letting us click where we want, which is fine. We just drag the title off and then drag it back on. So maybe around about there. So you've got the middle of the G here is in the middle of the fade. I think that's also pretty good. Okay, so there we go, people. It is that easy.